I'm Keely Malone, and I'm going to be talking to you about whether or not DNA information should be public. So recently, there have been advances in genetic testing, personal genome sequencing, and that has created the controversial question of whether or not DNA information should be public. So what is DNA? According to the U.S. National Library of Medicine, DNA is the abbreviation for deoxyribonucleic acid. It is composed of 4 nitrogen bases, adenine, cytosine, guanine, and thymine, which are also referred to as A, C, G, and T. It is a double-stranded helix, and our genetic information is implanted in our DNA. Each individual person contains their own set of DNA that is in the nucleus of our cells. From DNA, they can determine gender, eye color, and even if you're at risk to develop the disease. So, after doing research, I believe that DNA information should not be public because of the reasons such as privacy, unqualified forensic laboratories, so errors in DNA testing, unexpected information, and high costs. So, the first reason, privacy, is why I believe that DNA information should not be public. Our traces are left on everything we touch, so someone could easily get a hold of our DNA and connect it to a database. Another reason would be DNA databases are seen as a violation of privacy and human rights. And another big reason would be genetic discrimination. What is genetic discrimination? Well, according to the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, genetic discrimination is discriminating against someone for something present in their genes. An example of genetic discrimination would be someone applying for a job and the company not giving it to them because they looked into their DNA and saw that they were at risk to develop maybe a disease such as Alzheimer's, or a business not giving an employee a promotion because they saw that they were at risk to develop something like congestive heart failure. Only a small percentage of the population are aware of GINA, and that is an act against genetic discrimination. So another reason would be unqualified forensic laboratories, and that could lead to test results being misinterpreted. So if the police couldn't find a match in a database from DNA taken from a crime scene, they would start to look at partial DNA matches, which could lead to innocent relatives being accused of a crime they didn't commit. So also the corrupting of cases in DNA. And the U.S. Court of Appeals discovered a false finding in 10% of 200 random cases, which resulted in errors in DNA testing and evidence, and an issue with DNA samples being contaminated by employees. So how do you trust these forensic labs with your DNA if they were to mishandle them and you ended up being charged for a crime that you didn't commit? So another reason would be unexpected information. So recently there have been cases where individuals from their DNA results discovered family secrets, adoptions, hidden relationships, and even past affairs. And genetic companies like 23andMe are causing customers emotional and mental damaging effects by the DNA results that they're getting. So imagine trying to find out your family history and it turning into your family really isn't your family, or you just found out a family secret or a hidden relationship. And lastly, high costs. Creating and maintaining a database would be expensive. You would need the staff, the equipment, and actually the process of doing all the samples. This would require a lot of additional money, and that would be coming from most likely taxpayers' money, so your money. According to the National Research Council Committee on DNA Technology, a single DNA profile can cost about $120 to $170 to make, and constructing 10,000 DNA profiles could cost $1.2 million to $1.7 million. So now imagine the whole United States population. That'd be a lot of extra money, and it would be coming from your taxpayers' money. So, to conclude, I believe that DNA information should not be public for the reasons I just discussed, such as privacy, so genetic discrimination, a violation of human rights, unqualified forensic laboratories, so errors in DNA testing, and innocent people getting accused of crimes they didn't commit, unexpected information, so just finding out family secrets or hidden relationships that you really did not need to find out, and a high cost that would be coming from taxpayers' money, and it's just an additional cost that we don't really need if it causes all these errors. I believe that many negative outcomes would come from DNA information being public. And that concludes my presentation.
All right.